What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. That's my homeboy, Sean. What is up, Sean? Good to see you.
What's up, Jason, man? Just hanging out here in Hawaii, trying to stay cool and in the shade. How's everybody doing over there?
Good, man. Everybody's starting back to school here now. So when my kids started today, schools around the area and other places like Pennsylvania and things, everybody's getting back to the grind. So you guys already started back though, huh?
Yeah, it's been crazy, bro, but I'm starting to get in the groove of it and figure out how to blend in with all the craziness.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing, getting your routine back down, That's why I let the kids out like 15 minutes early from football practice. I'm like, man, parents need to be able to get their routine down and shit. They don't need to be at football till 8 p.m. tonight.
For real, bro. Yeah. I
No
got
doubt.
here, I had like 2 minutes to get ready to meet you right here.
Oh man, dude. Hey, we're back in the crazy grind of the sports season, the NFL season, the
That's
Steelers
right.
particularly, school, the whole nine yards, everything kicking back off. We'll get into chat a little bit. Miss Pittsburgh, what is up? Wave those towels, Mike Miller. We need to beat the Cleveland Clowns. Absolutely. George T, what's up? Sean, oh, that was me saying when Sean was ready, we'd be ready to go. What's up, Tom Ford? George T, Miss Pittsburgh TD. Let's keep going. Make sure I got everybody. Good to see you guys in the chat, waving those emojis around for us all here. And again, man, Sean, I ain't got to talk to you, my man, since the Pittsburgh Steelers went into action in preseason game 2, my friend. And what was your takeaways from it after you've had a little bit of time to digest? What do you think maybe some of the issues are surrounding this football team here after a couple weeks?
I mean, yeah, obviously the offensive line was a big concern. I was a bit shocked to see the Steelers getting pushed around like that, and Broderick Jones is really struggling. It's kind of hard to form an opinion on how I feel about the quarterback play when our offensive line can't do run block, they can't pass block, they couldn't seem to do anything. So I'm still sitting here scratching my head, wondering where we're at as an organization out there on the gridiron. I don't
Yeah.
right now from what I saw, I'm pretty worried.
Yeah, and I can't disagree, man, at all, no doubt. What's up, Danny George, Tom Ford, John Broadway? What's up? Yeah, I can't disagree, man, with your with your take there because honestly, that offensive line has some issues. They got to figure some things out. Nate Herbig, he's out, torn rotator cuff. You're probably not going to see him again for this season. Goes to IR. Now you look at Zach Frazier going to be stepping up into that starting center role. Broderick Jones dealing with a little bit of an elbow injury. Maybe that's why his performance was so bad. But some of the steps, some of the things that he was doing, it just didn't look like he had that power, Sean, that punch block power that you need along the offensive line, man. When you're, a big body, strong offensive lineman, your best tool is those cannons, man. Flying into somebody, being able to push them back, and you didn't see that. Are you worried that Broderick's going to take a step back here in year 2? Do you think maybe the inexperience from the college level maybe catching up with him a little bit, or would you attribute it more to maybe the elbow injury and him not being as effective because of that?
I I hope it's more about the elbow being an issue, but I think I'm gonna have more of an opinion once we see him go out there one more time this coming up week. That's really gonna help me form my opinion because now they're kind of like they're under the microscope now for everybody. Everyone's gonna be watching the offensive line and how they do, and I hope that that's enough to spark some kind of a fire within to help to have these guys really take it to the next level. Maybe they were just not taking it serious. I don't know why, but sometimes you really got to catch fire and scrutiny to really take a good hard long look in the mirror and go back out there with a whole different kind of attitude. And I'm hoping that's what happens. I hope Broderick Jones goes out there and has something to prove with the chip on his shoulder, along with everybody else on the offensive line. And that's the only thing I can do at this point is just hope that something changes this coming
Yeah.
up week.
I agree, man, no doubt. And we heard some comments here from Arthur Smith after practice today. He was basically saying, Sean, just relax, and maybe that's it too. He doesn't want to show his hand here in the preseason play. Maybe they're looking at things that maybe you and I or other fans aren't looking at, in terms of dissecting this football team and things of that nature. And yeah, maybe that's the case. All right, back to the chat here, guys. As we continue through the show, make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live, our daily live stream. Tom Ford, I'm telling you guys, if the Steelers signed Hendon Hooker from the Detroit Lions, it would be a good choice. That's the quarterback, Sean, out of Tennessee from the Detroit Lions. Now, they are expected to actually start Hendon Hooker against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the preseason finale. So you would get a good look at Hendon Hooker. I don't know enough about him, Tom. So I'd have to trust your judgment on that one, buddy. I don't know enough about Hendon Hooker to really formulate an opinion. Do you know anything really about Hendon, Sean, to be able to give a good take on that?
No, I don't. If I was to open my mouth on that, it'd be a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, I know who he is. I know he plays quarterback. I know what he was able to do in college. I haven't followed him at all in the pros, so yeah, I definitely couldn't give you a good take on it. Me too. I said they are making me nervous. That's from Miss Pittsburgh. I'm right along with you, Sean. TCG Hobby, my dad's friend, got a collar, a dog collar. Oh, come on. Tom Ford, I think for a wide receiver, Steelers should look at CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, and Sean, when I know people still want to see a big name wide receiver side to this roster and to give George Pickens maybe a little bit of help here. I think it's hard to evaluate their performance also when the offensive line doesn't block. What do you think about that? I mean, I just don't see how you get the ball to the playmakers when you don't have more than 2.5 seconds to get rid of the football.
The offensive line is the most important part of the whole football team, especially when it comes to the offense. And without them doing their jobs, we can't get a good look at our running backs. We can't get a good look at our receivers because the quarterback doesn't have time to give them a chance to get open. And we don't have a good opportunity to look at our quarterbacks. We can't look at anything really. Like it starts and ends with the offensive line and in the trenches. And as you guys saw, the defensive line for Buffalo was pushing our offensive line all around and having their way. And we didn't we just didn't get to look at our team at all, period. That's what happened. So unless they can fix that, we're not going to see shit, basically.
No, and Sean and I guys are in agreement with this, and I hope everybody else is seeing really how important this is, and we've been preaching it. Every time Sean and I are sitting here having these discussions, every time I'm on having these discussions, it all stems from that offensive line, Sean. And you're right. If you can't get that together, where do you go? You go nowhere, and it's going to be trouble, man. And it's a basic formula in my eyes. Get the offensive line going. But again, they're young. You might get Troy Fautanu back here in a week or so. So that may help. Maybe Broderick gets the rest. Tom Ford's or TD says, why aren't they resting Jones and let him get healthy before the season? Maybe that happens. Hopefully that happens. Allow him to sit here in preseason game 3. Allow him to let that elbow heal. Yeah, I agree, Tom Ford. He needs to get a hobby, no doubt about it. John Broadway, I'm just going to sit back and listen to you and hope the Steelers can get their O-line together. Go Steelers. Yeah, man, I agree, no doubt. Silver Fox, Steelers O-line is a travesty. Both quarterbacks have no time to throw. Yeah, absolutely, dude. If you can't, it just, guys, it boils down to a simple, simplistic thing. And that is if the offensive line doesn't go, this offense doesn't go. It is what it is. George T, I think the Pats waived Chooks. Would they consider re-signing him, or did he burn bridges? I think Chooks and Corfor would not be re-signed unless it was some desperate move. In my eyes, I think he burned bridges with Coach Tomlin, and I don't see that happening, Sean. I think there's enough young guys, man. You're looking at Spencer Anderson, Dillard Cook, Troy Fautanu when he comes back being healthy. Broderick's still young. Zach Frazier's still young. You still have some veterans there. There's guys, Sean, all over the place that I think could step in. Mason McCormick. There's guys everywhere. I think they have enough young depth. Do you think they have enough young depth to withstand maybe a couple injuries and get this offensive line moving as the season moves forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good opportunity for us to see what the the guys on the bench can come off and do. Because sometimes you find, some diamonds in the rough, as I was saying last year. We got some good talent in there that they're waiting for their chance to go out there and show the coaches what they can do. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. And right now, as we were talking about, the offensive line, it's just they're under the microscope. Everybody's watching to see what happens right there because nothing else is going to work. But yeah, we got the depth, but the thing is, can anybody step up?
Yeah, that's it. You're right. And that's what it's going to take. And guys, and I'm sure we're both pretty much in agreement with this. It's going to take time to get to their true NFL form and get that fill in that NFL body and be able to do things at a high level at the NFL or in the NFL, and that's just what it is. But the Steelers really don't have that luxury right now, Sean. They put these guys in place with high value draft capital. They went out there and they started to construct this line and overhaul basically the offense from the up front through the quarterbacks, through the wide receiver room. And the Steelers really don't have that luxury. When you have a defense that can compete now and win championships now, you maybe get discouraged as a Steeler fan because they haven't been able to put up points for a long time, And Kevin says it best. You can't do crap without an offensive line. Can't run, which doesn't open up the play action or passing. And that brings me to this, Sean. Bill Belichick was on the Pat McAfee shows talking about what the Steelers have as a problem. And he listed that offensive line is a real issue. Non-existent running game. Then you look at the injury to Jaylen Warren with the hamstring. Then you probably get concerned about that. Are you comfortable with the Dewan Edwards or Jonathan Ward or somebody like that coming in and being able to take a place of Jaylen Warren? And is Najee comfortable enough being a down in, down out type guy? Is Cordell Patterson a guy that can come in and handle those role that Jalen left? Those are questions. But Coach Belichick said it, Sean. No line, no go.
That's it. Nobody's going to be able to do nothing until that O-line problem is fixed. Whoever's stepping in, whether it's Najee or anybody else, Patterson, they're pretty much screwed until they figure out that the front right there, the front line. So, that's the big thing. That's the only thing. Everything's going to keep coming down to the offensive line right now. As far as our defense, I'm kind of curious. How's Peyton Wilson doing? I know he had concussion, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully that doesn't keep happening because we've got an offense that can't do nothing. We're going to have our defense back out on the field all game long, and we're going to see injuries happening and starting to pile up. So this could get really bad really fast.
Yeah, and I don't want to see a repeat of 2023, and that was it. Leaving those guys out there to dry every week, man. The time of possession was so lopsided. The Steelers were just constantly having that defense out there day or minute after minute, and it wears on them. And you're right, and it could be a complete disaster really quick. But I'm going to still say this, Sean. We're not going to overhype it. We're not going to underplay it either, but it is the reality. They need to fix some things along the offensive line. I don't think we've seen what this team is going to look like in the regular season. Arthur Smith says to relax, but this leads me into this comment from Silver Fox. Why did they get a washed up Falcon head coach to coach the offense? I don't think he's washed up. I think sometimes it just doesn't work. And Sean, I don't know what you think about Arthur Smith being hired. I think it was good. And I look at sometimes when these head coaches are fired, I feel like sometimes franchises aren't patient enough. You know what I mean? And they don't allow teams to grow or head coaches to grow a program. And if you don't win within the first couple years, they kick your ass out. That's what I think. I don't think Arthur Smith's washed up.
No, I don't either. You got to give the guy a little time. And they haven't even figured out their full 53 man yet. Like how can we really say it's all on him right now? Like give the guy a chance to really see who's up to par with what they want on the field, and give the offensive line a chance to fix their stuff. And I agree. Let's not panic yet. It's only the preseason, and I'm not sold on shit. Even if they're out 34 points a game right now, I'm not sold on nothing.
No, we ain't doing that again, baby. Hey, no. What's up, Russ? Russ says, "What's up, Jason and Sean? Just got back from the beats. Got a nasty virus last day there. Watched the game at Salty Dog in OC. WWE got some serious work to do." Yeah, no doubt, man. I hope you're feeling well, man. A virus has been going around. I've seen people getting like salmonella and shit here around here. The weird variant about COVID too, man. I hope you're staying healthy now and over that. But man, it's been weird with all these sicknesses around.
Yeah.
TD, if our O line is not going to hold up, should we go with more screenplays? Sean, I consider screenplays an extension of the run game. I think they're going to do screens anyway, regardless. I don't know if you increase the workload with screens. I don't know if that would be the answer. I don't know if necessarily just making Russell Wilson get rid of the ball super quickly every snap, man. I don't think that that's the answer because I think you're reverting back to the 2023 check down Kenny, check down Mitchell Trubisky. You know what I mean? You saw it last year at the end when Mason Rudolph was able to push the football down the field. What an offense would be able to look like, and I think that that would be a mistake to shorten the field in the pass game. What do you think?
I think that they should focus on dissecting a defense and pushing the ball down the field as much as possible. I don't see a problem with throwing a screen pass every like maybe every blue moon or a couple times a game, but they got to focus on really pushing the ball down the field. And I feel like the more aggressive you are on offense, the more it really keeps the defense back on their heels more. And if you're running these screen passes all the time, the safeties and DBs they catch onto it and they can shut it down real quick. So I hope that they keep focusing on just moving forward, fixing the few problems on the O line, and just go off that offensive playbook of Arthur Smith. Punch the ball down their throats with the run game, open up that play action, and throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and like you say, when you push the ball down the field, that opens up that run game. It does things for your offense, and like you said, it keeps the defense honest. And if you're not willing to do those things, and you're going to go back to that check down offense, it's just going to spell more disaster for this Steelers offense in terms of being able to score points and staying on the field. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Robert Rhodes says they're not going to cut Hendon Hooker. If not for torn ACL last year in college, he would have been the number one pick. I know a little bit about his college career. Yeah, I don't know enough about his NFL stuff right now. I'm gonna have to dive into it, but I trust what you guys are saying for sure. You guys know what the hell you're talking about. Miss Pittsburgh, let's go. People hit the shit out of that like button. Absolutely. Subscribe to the best show in town. I appreciate that so very much. Make sure you are hitting that like button, guys, as we're almost 20 minutes into the show for Sean and I. And we're going to keep on talking Pittsburgh Steelers and all the good stuff that football brings, man. Fall, football, food, the whole 9 yards. I'm pumped. Hey, my kids won. They won on Sunday. My youth football team that I help coach with a friend of mine, Malik. Our boys put the beat down, man. 28-0. Our older boys, the team up above us, same team, same organization, I guess. They also won. They won big. I think we scored a combined like almost 70 points, man. And we gave up none. We gave a goose egg for both teams.
Wow, awesome job! Wow.
Yes. And I got to say this too. I got to have a proud dad moment. My son, on the very first offensive snap, scored a touchdown. So I'm super pumped about that. He led the season off good. He got us off on a good roll. And the whole day, I'm like, do not fumble the damn football because he has the drops sometimes. But he's learning, man. He's 9 years old. So as a proud dad moment there.
Congratulations, bro.
Thanks, bro. Justin Menike, what's up? Sam Mason with this offensive line. Fields is a must start. That was unbelievable. We need a guy willing to move in the pocket once the line breaks down. Please start Fields. Uh, we're gonna have to see what preseason game 3, says how or shows us, Sean. In my eyes, I can't give you that decision yet. What do you think? Do you think it would be wise for the Steelers to start Justin Fields because of the O line and because of the issues that it's having right now, or do you think it's too early to make the assumption that they're going to be just complete failures?
I don't think it would be wise to just throw in Justin Fields to cover up an issue. You need to address the issue and fix it. immediately. And I think that having a quarterback out there that wants or that can utilize the pocket is really important, because if somebody's out there and they're getting bullied and pushed around, we need to see it. We don't want that like sugar coated by having Justin Fields run around outside the pocket and fumbling the football like was what he's going to do if he runs out the pocket. So I think it's a good thing to keep Russell Wilson in there, stick with the game plan, try to fix the issues that you had from last week, which can be done, and move forward and progress, learn from it. And hopefully that's what happens in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no doubt. I would say right now I'm still leaning toward Russell Wilson just because, like you said, you got to fix the issues. You got to see the issues. You got to be able to understand how to fix them. And I think with a veteran quarterback in there, a guy that has won a Super Bowl, I think that's a calm and steady presence. Think that it keeps this offense grounded still with knowing that they have Russ in there. I'm just now that may change, Sean. Things may change, but at least right now, I think we're both on the same page with just riding with the game plan and allowing this thing to take out, man. Or take off and see how it goes. And if Justin ends up being the answer, you can't avoid it, then so be it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Ryan Hayes, I think we're missing an established good veteran on offense. I think having a Trent Williams type on the offensive line or an Adams at wide receiver would benefit us. Obviously, can't get those guys, but of their caliber. Yeah, and I can't disagree with you, Ryan, but I think there are some veterans there. Maybe not vocal veterans on the team, especially along the offensive line, like a Siamalu, a James Daniels. However, James Daniels has performed pretty poorly also this preseason so far. But Sean, do you think there's lacking some veteran leadership? I figured Russ would provide that veteran leadership,
I think that, having Russ in there is a good, mentor, but the real leadership that we need to get in Pittsburgh is from Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is the leader that needs to step up and provide these guys with what they need to move forward and progress. We can't be relying on all these players to be the mentors when really it comes down to Mike Tomlin. If he can't get a grip on this football team and fix it, then, it's on him. And that's what he's there for. That's our leader. He needs to be the leader.
Yeah, I agree, and it all falls on his shoulders because you're the head man, and the problems are your problems as the head guy, and you got to shoulder that blame. And yeah, I agree. He has to be the leader. He has to turn a new page this season. And I know a lot of people get upset if you criticize Mike Tomlin in any way, shape, or form, and then there's the other sect of the fan base that says, fire Mike Tomlin's ass. They're sick of it. There's two different sides of that coin. I ride in the middle of that, and I think that Mike Tomlin needs to make some changes and do things a little bit differently this year, and perhaps maybe moving things around on the roster a little bit more quickly this year, and find that right combination of players. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know, but yeah, definitely. Mason played pretty good with that offensive line. What does that say about the new additions at quarterbacks? That's from Silver Fox. I think it says a lot, but the offensive line at the end of the season when Mason was in there wasn't performing like they are performing right now. And do you think some of that, Sean, has to do with maybe the scheme that's being brought in, the new scheme, just getting their feet underneath them with that? Or do you think maybe some of it's coming to Arthur Smith just not showing his hand?
I think that has something to do with it. You don't want to go out there and give away your whole game plan for how you're going to go into week one and start your season off strong, which is going to be really important this year. But at the same time, I feel like there is another issue going on somewhere, and I'm not sure where yet, but there's something going on that needs to be fixed, obviously, and maybe there's a piece of the puzzle missing that they need to put in there. I'm not sure, but it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen this next coming up week.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ryan, I think, is hitting on that when he's talking about the balance on defense. TJ, Minka, Cam, elite, experienced guys don't make big mistakes. And that's what you're probably lacking on offense. But maybe like Najee and GP are getting there, though. Yeah, and I think you're hitting on, some of that. And I think that, yes, on-field presence is important. But again, boils down to a lot of this coaching scheme and things of that nature and putting their players in the position to succeed. And yeah, recognizing if a guy's injured too, and you're not letting him heal up, and you keep wheeling him out there, maybe that's an issue too. I
Yeah,
don't know, man. I think there's a lot of things that we don't get to see, and I know everybody, believes these just so-called insiders. If they don't say it, it ain't going on. But these guys don't see everything, man. And I know people get mad when I say so-called insiders, and I think that I prefer their name to be connected. They know people there, not insider. Nobody's inside that building, and they only let you hear what they want you to hear. So the insider term's been jammed down my throat more times in the last 2 weeks, and I can't stomach it much longer. It's making me sick. We got to use better vocabulary sometimes to describe what people are doing. Tom Ford, I still thought Hooker would have at least been a first round draft pick. Yeah, I thought he would have been too. Miss Pittsburgh, they should have kept Mason. Probably, no doubt. Good evening. What's up, Tyler? Robert Road, why did the Steelers sign a washed up Dick LeBeau to be the DC? LOL, the same reason for signing Artie Smith to be the offensive coordinator. Both are and were great coordinators. And that's it too, Sean. And I think a lot has to do with that. Some guys might not be cut out to be head coaches. Some guys might not be able to shoulder that burden, but yet they're able to handle a certain position of the team, a unit, and be able to handle that well. And maybe that's just their forte.
yeah, that absolutely, man. Dick LeBeau's a great example. He was an amazing defensive coordinator, but he didn't have the best of luck other places. So, hopefully Arthur Smith can go out there and see some success and bring it to Pittsburgh.
Amen, man. No doubt about it. Tom Ford said weird new wave of COVID going. Yeah, yeah, we see it too, man. No doubt about it, Tom. It's getting weird out there. Danny George, I think they will be okay. Don't give up the ship. Yeah, I'm not giving up yet, and I don't think Sean is either. I think we're kind of staying the course. I think preseason game 3 is going to tell us a little bit. I think you're going to see the Steelers come out and perform a little bit better. I think they're going to show a little bit more. That's just my thoughts. Do you think, Sean, the Steelers are going to come out a little bit uh, with a little bit more of what they're about, showing a little bit more of what they're about in preseason game 3? Or do you think they'll still hold their cards close to the vest?
I think they're going to still hold their cards close to their vest. And I also think that we're going to see a little bit better offensive line play because I haven't given up on our team. I still have faith that they can be great. And they went out there, and sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and thrown on the ground and kicked around a little bit to realize what you got to become to be where you want to be. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. And I have faith in it. I haven't lost faith in our team. I don't think any of you guys should either. Let's not. Let's just be patient. Continue to be patient.
Amen, man. Patience. Slow and steady wins the race in a long, long season sometimes. Kevin Schroyer, Art Smith is the most exciting hire we've had in like 15 years. I liked it, Sean, that they went outside of the organization and brought some coaches in. I was sick of the promotions from within. So I applaud them for that, at least.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch how that brought in other players. You brought in the con man, then yeah, they started bringing in like Russell Wilson. I never would have guessed, and Justin Fields. It's been surprising and fun, and hopefully we can keep going in the right direction.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. I agree. Thomas, Robert. Oh, no, we were talking about somebody had said why we brought Artie Smith in, that he was a washed up head coach with Atlanta. And we were just having the discussion of maybe guys like Dick LeBeau that didn't succeed as a head coach, but yet were hired by the Steelers and had massive raving success. Those were the things. Oh, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Kevin Schroyer. Tom, I think he was being sarcastic. Wave those towels from his Pittsburgh. Tom Ford, if that's the case, I feel stupid. Kevin Schroyer, Tomlin is too much of a friend. He's never had control of the locker room. Cool dude, but not the leader of men that a head coach needs to be. I think there is a fine line of discipline and a fine line of being cool with your players. And I know as a coach of kids, I don't know how to walk that line. I don't know where that line is, man, and it's tough to figure out, man, because yeah, you feel bad for going hard on people sometimes, but yet you can't just let shit go all the time. You got to have some sort of discipline. Do you think Mike Tomlin needs to be a little bit more of a disciplinarian, or do you think being too hard ass in the NFL drives players away, Sean?
I wouldn't mind seeing him being a little bit more strict on the edges, or maybe straight edge more. But at the same time, like you say, that's a fine line. If you don't play your cards right as a coach, the players don't want to perform for you. And the fact that all these players love Mike Tomlin says a lot. And you want that. So we don't want him to change too much. You just got to find a way to let the guys know that certain things will not be tolerated, and you will get the boot if you F around and you want to find out. So.
Play stupid games, win stupid ass prizes, bro.
Yeah.
Tom says Tomlin sucks. Steelers will go nowhere as long as he's head coach. Time will tell, and that's just what it is. And none of us really know. But yeah, the signs point to Tomlin's not had a good run here as of the last decade. So yeah, 8-10 now, Sean. Mike Tomlin is 8-10 inside of the playoffs. Can you believe that?
Oh my God, that's horrible. And that's when I say I don't care about his regular season wins. I don't care about a winning season. I want to see a Lombardi Trophy added to the case, man. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt, man. However it gets done. Just do it. Do it.
That's right.
Yeah. Russ says, I ain't judging in preseason after last year. Yeah, we've had this conversation many times, and Sean and I are both in agreement that we ain't getting too high, we ain't getting too low, but we're going to see how this thing all goes, and that's just what we can do, man. No doubt about it. And we're not going to put too much stock into it either. So we'll see how it all unfolds here for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they continue.
Neutral. Don't go in fifth gear. Don't hit reverse. Just remain in neutral, and we'll sit back and we'll see what happens here without any panic buttons being pushed. That's what we should do.
No doubt, man. That's it. Just see how it plays out. And I know that that's kind of a lame ass answer, but Sean, it is what it is, and that's what you got to do. You got to let it play out, man. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Tom Ford Tomlin's such of a player's coach that even when hurt players says he still wants to play regardless, Mike Tomlin will let them. I don't know how that dynamic would work if I were, in that position. I always, and I coach kids, so it's like a lot different. But if a kid says, "Oh, I'm good, I can play," I've always just said, "Okay, go ahead," or relied on what their parents said, which would be like, I guess, the medical staff on the team, kind of let them advise. And I think that that's kind of what you need to do. And just if somebody says, I can push through it, maybe that's the right way. I don't know, Sean. I think that's a fine line to walk too,
It is. Absolutely.
Miss Pittsburgh, I will always be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Pittsburgh Steelers fan for life. Would never jump off the ship, good or bad, and the ugly, no doubt. I agree, and that's what I think you need to be an ultimate fan. But I was having a conversation earlier with one of our listeners, and they have really good points, really good, and I can't remember their name now, and I got to think of it. I got to find it. And it's slipping my mind, and I apologize to the person it is. But we were going back and forth, and we were having a discussion about something about Justin Fields, and that's it, man. The good, the bad, the ugly, we're all in it, but we all have to talk about the reality of the team and be truthful. And I think that we've been getting a lot of that here on the channel, and I think that that's exactly what we need. And it's just good shit, man. Good shit, Sean. Number one fan, you are, Miss Pittsburgh. I will give you that. You are diehard. Robert wrote, I just over some kind of cold and slight fever. I am all good now. Yeah, I had seen somebody on my Facebook, friend from high school, person I went to high school with, talking about their kid and crazy weird fever that they contracted from swimming in a pool down in Florida at Disney, and this kid was sick for like 11 days with a super high fever and shit, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. Finally, I guess they got it under control, which is terrible, man. So prayers for that kid. But all this shit, Sean, are you guys getting that over in Hawaii? All this weird shit?
We were sick not too long ago, a few weeks ago, and it wasn't nothing crazy. I had a little bit of a sore throat and a small kind cough, but I continued to just take my supplements, lots of vitamin C. I made it a point, no matter how bad I felt, to walk outside in my backyard and just let the sun hit me for a few minutes.
Gotcha.
The sun does a lot for the body, and
Oh
and
yeah.
go out there, breathe some fresh air, let the sun hit you, then go back, lay down, take it easy. I was back at it within a couple of days, bro. It wasn't nothing crazy.
Yeah. Are you guys seeing a lot of it though, just around your towns and stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's people calling out for work left and right now. Actually, where I'm working right now, and
Mm.
hopefully it's nothing too crazy. But I
Yeah,
don't, I
I
don't, I
can't
try
do the
not to.
lockdown. I can't do lockdown shit again, Sean.
Me either, bro. I don't worry about. I just go about my life, bro.
Me
If we
too,
get
man.
sick, we get sick.
That's it. Go out and build your immune systems. Get out in public.
All natural.
That's it, no doubt. Russ says, I don't think Art Smith is going to show his entire offense in the preseason. I think it will be a good OC. I think that's a good way to think about it, Russ, to be honest with you. Hi, Uncle John. I meant
Oh,
Uncle Sean. Uncle Sean. He said Uncle
hey,
John. I said, who the hell's Uncle John?
that must be my nephew. What's up, Liam? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you in the chat. Crazy Kid 294. Kevin Schroyer, he should have benched Pickens last year against Cincy the way he refused to block the week before. People grow up quick when they lose the game check. Yeah, same with Deontay Johnson, Deontay Johnson blatantly did it on national TV, watched his players play a play while he was walking off the field. That same thing. I think he should have also. Yeah. I think Tomlin made many roster errors last year. Robert Road, I want the kind of run for our Steelers where we are chanting for one for the thumb. No doubt, man. I need a good run, Sean. How about you?
Man, that would be amazing. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready for just one big one, bro. Just a good one, man. We haven't had one in a long time, man. Over almost a decade, bro.
It's,
Over.
we're due. We're due. It's time.
Oh yeah, we're winners up in this bitch, bro. We're winners. We got to get back on fucking track. Oh,
That's
excuse me.
right.
I gotta watch the F bomb. I don't want to. Tom Ford, a lot of players that supposedly love to play for Mike Tomlin underperform. Yeah, and that can't be the only reason you sign a player is because they said, "Oh, I want to play for Coach T." That can't be the reason you sign them. You know what I mean, Sean? I think you need to be looking at how do they fit in our system schematically. How are they going to be able to help us gain W's in that win column? How are they going to be locker room guys? I could care less whether you want to play for Mike Tomlin or not. That don't mean shit to me.
Yeah, you got to go out there and put up the numbers. If the numbers aren't there, then you shouldn't be
Yeah.
there.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Wave your towels. The Steelers always work it out. They do. I'm just going to sit back and fasten my seatbelt and enjoy the ride. I agree. Miss Pittsburgh, you still love the team while disliking some of their players or staff. That's it. You can. And that's it too, Sean. Your fandom don't have to go away just because you don't like some of the things they've done, some of the moves they've made.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes the moves that we don't like turn out to be something we end up liking later on down the road. And, it's just early to tell anything right now. We just got to sit back, relax, and watch it all unfold.
Absolutely, man. Crazy Kid says he's doing good, Uncle Sean.
All right, buddy. That's right. Good job.
Rob, Rob Lightfoot, if I was Connor Mike T, I'd throw a little extra for Ayuk because I don't think GP14 can get out of his own way. He's not a number one. Attitude is terrible. AB 2.0.
Woo! Dropping bombs.
Yeah, amen, man. Hey, I don't know. We'll have to see how George handles his business this year. I think that's going to be the biggest thing is just one more year of growth, allow us to see how this all unfolds, and hopefully George is able to take that next step, Sean. All right, man. We're about 40 minutes into the show here on Mike Drop Sports, the show Steel City Live. Make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button for us. As always, we truly appreciate you coming through. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you get your Mike Drop Mafia membership. Danny George won the giveaway last night. So congrats again to Danny George. I'm going to line something up with him here in the next short period of time since he doesn't live far from me and get him his prize. And that way I don't have to send it. I always dread sending something heavy because I think Sean's going to win that one.
One of these days, I am going to win, and you're going to pay. You're gonna
No,
pay.
dude, I'd be like, you're getting cash. You don't get an option. You don't get an option. Sean don't get one because sending it to him would be like more than the cash option would be. No doubt about it. It would be worthless. I'd be like, I'm losing to send him a
Uh,
freaking plaque.
I always thought it'd be funny to see your reaction if I won.
Oh, no doubt. That would suck. No offense, but that would suck.
No, it's all good. I like it. It's all good.
Absolutely. Also, too, guys, Sean, too. Sean, I meant to even talk to you about this. I want to start a channel talking about the whole AFC. I want to do it, Sean. And I brought it up to that other guy, Nick. He was willing to help us and come on and provide some, content for it and be able to help with editing and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we should do that, Sean.
Let's do it.
I
I,
agree.
I know. I know AFC football. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what we can do. We're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. And I know that's a lot to add to the plate, man. But man, uh, screw it. If you don't go big, just go home. That's what I say.
We're gonna go
Uh,
big.
that's it. Kevin Schroyer, I'm not sold that Ayuk is a number one. He's got a great team around him and didn't really take off till CMC got there. He's talking about Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if he's the elite level they say. I think every player, Sean, is a little bit dependent on their scheme. I'm not saying that that's all, at the pro level, I think scheme and coaching and things play a major role in some of these players' success. And I think putting players into where they can be successful in certain situations and understanding what they do best and getting them in the right position is important. And I don't think every coach is able to do that. So I do think scheme matters. Do you think scheme matters for some of these players to where they're going to be a totally different player if they go somewhere else?
I believe the scheme is almost everything. You got to have a certain scheme for certain players, and you got to have a certain scheme against certain teams. So, I mean, depending on how you go out there and you have your game plan set up, is everything to me.
Absolutely, man. No doubt. I think it plays a big role too. All right, guys, we're going to put our last comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat because old Jason is hungry as shit up in here. So, and two, Sean, I'm going to start doing these. We're going to start getting guys to about 45 minutes. An hour, by the end of the week, Sean, my voice and my tonsils, I can't take it. We got to go 45 minutes, man. And I even have Sean tonight. Even once a week, I have Sean, and my voice still kills me, man. Yeah, it's tough. It's rough to do these for an hour. You look at all
So,
these other channels, Sean, that do these lives for the Steelers. Very seldom do they go an hour, man. It's usually about a half hour, 35, 40 minutes, man.
yeah, I think it's a good time. 45
Hmm.
minutes, plenty of time to talk football. And it's super hot in my studio all the time. So,
I know. I
less
always
time to
feel
do
bad. I can see Sean melting. Kevin Schroyer, I take a number one as he can play in any scheme or offense. I truly believe Hill, CD, or JJ can ball out on any team. Some players got, that natural ability, but yes, I still think scheme depends a lot on it because if you're not putting them in the right positions, it's really, truly tough to just succeed in the way that maybe they did in their previous team or their previous environment, just because it could be so different. So, any
Yeah.
closing thoughts, Sean, as we reach about 44 minutes here? Any closing thoughts from Sean and about even preseason week 2 and maybe what you're looking forward to here in preseason week 3 and just anything?
Yeah, just like I say, stay calm, be patient, let things unfold, give them time to fix, or to fix the kinks that are maybe going on. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they adjust with the offensive line. And that's going to be my big microscope for the week. And hopefully you guys all have something you're looking forward to watch for. And yeah, let's hopefully that Broderick Jones comes out and starts manhandling people and we see
Yeah.
some good runs behind our offensive line.
That's it. Robert says we should probably rethink doing another show. It won't be a live show though, Robert. It'll just be a show that we pre-record. So it'll be a little bit easier. And it'll be a whole different channel, not a show on this channel. It'll be a whole new channel. But this channel will always stay the same. So yeah. just wanted to throw that out there so everybody knew it wouldn't be something that we did here. It would be a whole different ball game. So it'd be different. But anyway, yeah, it's something to think about. You never know. But anyway, Sean. All right, dude. I agree. We got to cut it down. Cut it down. 45 minutes. It's definitely it, man. We gotta get it wrapped up in 45 minutes, guys. Sean, I swear, bro. Like by the time I get home from coaching these kids, I think my voice hurts from screaming at them. That's what I think is hurting my voice the most. These kids, they're good kids, really good kids, but man, you got to scream at them every 5 seconds.
Bro, you got to get a megaphone, the bullhorn. You got to get one, bro.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Give me a lot. Keep it down. Give me 10.
Yeah, I keep wanting to. I have a speaker in my bag, like, and I was gonna let them play music during practice or warm ups or something, and then I thought to myself, that's just another thing I have to scream over top of.
They also have whistles that you just push a button, and it's a loud whistle where you don't have to blow on it all the time. That can help save your breath too.
No doubt, Robert. Yeah, no doubt. My voice probably would hurt very badly. We could do though like half-hour shows. You know what I mean, Sean? We could all get on there. We could talk about the AFC North, do some picks for the week each week during the season, and not make them too long. We'll figure it out. You off again tomorrow, Sean?
Tomorrow I will be off, but I work tomorrow night. So I work graveyard.
Well, maybe when you go in, you can holler at your boy, kill some time. We'll discuss it, figure it out. All right, guys. All right, brother Sean. Thank you as always for coming. Shit, we even said we were cutting it a little bit shorter, and it's almost 50 minutes, so it don't really even matter. But anyway, man, thank you, Sean. I appreciate you, my friend, as always, for coming on, dude. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for having me, Jason. I appreciate it. It's always a good time.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Always a good time with you, man. Appreciate it. And as always, guys, thank you for joining us. Until tomorrow, I'm Jason. That's Sean. And this is Mike Drop Sports. Peace. See you, Sean.
See you, bro. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.